Hi folks, I'm Judd. I'm a professional astrologer with over 35 years consultative experience to my name. These are my astrological forecasts for the year 2015 for each sign of the zodiac. Enjoy. And this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Taurus for the whole of the year 2015. Overall, folks, it depends what it is you want, really. If you're one of those Taurians that's looking for excitement and stimulus and movement forward and action and adventure, then I'm afraid 2015 is not going to be one of those years. But if you compare 2015 to both 2013 and 14, it's going to be a lot different. The last few years there's been quite a degree of background struggle, blockage, restriction, limitation, frustration. Saturn's been in your opposite sign for the last two and a half years, and that's beginning to clear now. So certainly there's less sign of hindrance in 2015. There's certainly no sign over the coming year of any major changes or challenges to your lifestyle. A few of you, especially those born towards the end of Taurus, mid-May onwards, you're likely to find, yes, there's still a degree of ongoing restructuring going on, but this is not anything that's going to dramatically or radically change your life. The key for the coming year is that of a return to steady consistency and stability. I know this fits the epitome of Taurus, and I assure you it isn't always going to be like this, and I will be looking long term at 3 to 4 years down the line when Uranus moves into Taurus. But over the coming year, it's not going to be a dramatic year for most of you. The big boys, the big planets, the ones that affect you at the year by year level are either neutral or positive. For example, Pluto's working really, really well with those Taurians born around May 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you guys should be finding that this year is bringing a much greater degree of profoundness and psychological depth and confidence and insight than previous years have done. Neptune's working well with those Taurians born at the very end of April, very start of May, the last day of April, first day of May, suggesting that there's a much greater degree of intuition, sensuality, aestheticism and refinement coming into a number of different tastes. And it does seem that those people born at the very end of April and the first week of May are in a large-scale, long-term, ongoing period of psychological and neurotic transformation and regeneration in a way that's just breeding deep confidence and success, basically. However, it's all happening from Neptune and Pluto, and it's all happening in the unsubconscious, and if you try and think about it, it's not going to work. So there's a good case here for saying if it's working, don't fix it. The last of the outer planets, Uranus, is not touching you. There's no sign of having any rugs pulled from underneath your feet or any drama or crises or sudden changes over the coming year. So the big picture is pretty solid. Then we bring Saturn in. Now Saturn's leaving your opposite sign, but he is going to return in the middle of 2015 for about 3 months, 4 months, and he is still going to have a sting in the tail for those Taurians born after May 19th onwards for a few months. May, June, July, perhaps August. Yeah, this will bring further examinations and re-evaluations, value assessments, tests for validity and worth, whether it is people, experiences, careers, relationships, or of oneself. But that's what Saturn does. But then if Saturn opposite the Sun is the hardest thing that's happening to some Taurians over the coming 12 months, okay, that's difficult, but it's nothing to write home about. You know, it happens to everyone at least 2 or 3 times in their lifetime. Even Jupiter's not doing too bad. Certainly, the period from now, start of the year, through to April is not a particularly good time for pushing ahead financially. But over the period, and over the period of mid-April through to perhaps late June, those of you who have overreached themselves in recent times may find that they come a cropper if they push too hard at this time. Far better, I think, to reflect in the first 3 months of the year on business and financial strategies, and then put plans in place and take actions over the period of April through to June and July, but don't look for results until mid-August onwards, when Jupiter moves into Virgo, another earth sign, and then from mid-September onwards you can expect to see clear signs of financial, professional, status-driven, not so much rewards and success, but more establishment and consolidation, and this should affect the vast majority of you. It's actually not looking like a difficult year, folks. It's not exciting, but then you can live with that for another year. It's a year of basically recovering from the trials and tribulations of the last 2 years, rebuilding on what's left, and making sure now that what you're rebuilding is absolutely rock solid for the long-term future. You're not going to get any hustle if you do it this way. As far as 2015 goes, Taurus, have a solid and stable year. There you go, folks. I hope that was helpful and informative. I believe astrology should be free. I think that if astrology was taught in schools, we'd see an end to warfare within 2 generations. And in that context, I want to put as much astrology free into the world as I can. But it does cost. Your donations, month in, month out, the £1, the £5, the £10 a month that you send me, really help me keep this going. Thank you. Keep them coming. And look what I've got. And there's a new one on Mercury coming out later this year. So if you want to get these or find out about all my gigs travelling around the world this coming year lecturing on astrology, email me, steve@stevejudd.com. See you next year. Bye.